Okay, so I can get more personal about my own personal journey, and I think I have ADD or ADHD and was never diagnosed. So as long as ideas are coming to my head, I'm just gonna keep making videos, but I hope keep them shorter. Um, so I my recovery is more about emotional and mental and learning or relearning to socialize with people because I would easily isolate. Like this whole quarantine thing for me is not hard at all. It's heartbreaking to see what's going on around the world, and I do pray, and I will continue to pray for the people and families affected, and the medical workers and governments that are making decisions, and small businesses and grocery store truckers and all you people that are keeping us going. But I love to be alone, and I love, you know, I could I could be very happy being alone for a long time, but I could probably get pretty sick in my mind too. And it's just not how God made us. Like He made us to be in community and in relationship and connected. Um, so that's part of my recovery, or most of my recovery, is learning to be real and authentic, be vulnerable, connect with people, see stuff from their eyes. I'm recovering from, and again, I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. I'm recovering from abandonment, probably no bonding attachment or attachment. So abandonment, attachment issues. I would say the very strong lack of attachment, and sexual abuse. Okay, that's a big one. What was the other one? Right? Was it socializing? Um, I would say mental abuse and emotional abuse. Yeah, that's it. So abandonment, attachment issues, sexual abuse, emotional, mental, a lot of that all goes hand in hand. That's what I'm recovering from, and I can't even explain to you why, but by the grace of God, that I did not turn to chemicals uh, besides chocolate and sugar. I definitely turned to sugar and food. I know my genetics don't show that, but I did, and sugar especially. So that was sugar because I guess I saw myself as a good girl who follows the rules, and I knew that drinking, smoking, and partying, and just being completely out of control. I felt like, and I felt like that was like bad, I guess, in my eyes. Okay, I mean, I know you can say it's not good for you in a lot of ways, but it was like in my view of morality, like you know, drinking, smoking, and partying, and just being out of control was not right. And that's not that I had the right motivation to think that. I'm just telling you that's probably one of the reasons why I didn't go that way. And also because I had already seen in my life that I had seen what alcohol, how it can, I'd seen its effects and it wasn't good. So, again, some people see the effects of alcohol in their life, in their family, and they go for it. Like they just do the same. They go for it and they do what they saw. For some reason, I saw the effect of it and I like went the other direction. Okay. Um, Having said that, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to ask you to have some grace with me. That and I share this in my Celebrate Recovery testimony, which I forgot to tell you is kind of the pinnacle of Celebrate Recovery. Once you've been in the program and you've done that core step study program, which is like the heart of it, after that you can go through some training and write down your testimony of like what your life was like before you started recovery, what were the steps that helped you in your recovery, and then where are you at now, and like what are some things you're still working on, because recovery, which is freedom, and gaining freedom is an ongoing thing. So in my Celebrate Recovery testimony, which I had the highest privilege of sharing 2 different Celebrate Recovery groups, and terrifying in a way, but like so healing in a way too. I shared that I shared that there was some sexual brokenness that infiltrated my life, and I had to admit that I likewise had sexual brokenness. I shouldn't say completely had, because I'm sure, because we're all broken and none of us are 100% pure in that area, but I turned to sexual brokenness in a way to medicate my pain. And so even though it's just amazing, the dichotomy in my mind, that even though I was like, oh, no, don't do drugs, don't smoke, don't drink, don't be wild and all that, but that in this compartment of my mind, but in this other compartment of my mind, I was sexually broken and acted on that in different ways, and I knew it was not the best. I could sense it. I mean, I knew that. There's no question about it. But it was okay. Like it was no, it wasn't even okay. It's just that it's what, I didn't see, like I wouldn't put the sexual brokenness into this category of like chemical addiction. So that was a big like sense of brokenness in myself, and denial as well, just not not being integrated and authentic in that understanding. But after going through the step study of Celebrate Recovery and all the different things, it became clear to me that I had separated those things and put people into also a category, and put myself into a category. And so just layers and layers of denial, and rule following, and legalism, and religiosity, if I'm saying that right, just coming to the forefront, and me realizing these things about myself and admitting it. Like it was hard to admit it, but then to admit it to my small group or counselors or whatever, and just have those layers come out. So good. I was gonna say with my recovery, I would say though that honestly the biggest issue, or the biggest obstacle for me, was what you kind of lump into what's called, okay, I'm already at 8 minutes. How am I doing this? Like, how? Okay, so I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna talk about what the biggest hurdle of my recovery is. Thanks.